Ladies and gentlemen, step number 10, the grand finale before we move into the playoffs, and you guys are here to witness the last step of the TrackMania Grand League. Welcome everyone, hope you're all doing fine. We are looking forward to an absolutely amazing step. It is going to be the final one before we would determine who is going to move on into the playoffs. The top 8 in the global standings and the overall standings after all of the 10 steps will move on to the playoffs of the TrackMania Grand League beta season. Radiance is gonna be our very good looking guy once again, as always. Radiance, as always, the guy that is gonna be accompanying us. Hello Radiance.
Hello Rio, how are you doing today?
I can't complain, What about you, good sir?
It's gonna be an interesting day. First off, we have this step 10 where everything of course is double points. And then in the night we have Game of Thrones, so it's gonna be a POG day.
Absolutely, yeah, Formula 1 wasn't really that POG, I heard.
No.
I missed out on the race actually, but it seems like it wasn't that exciting. For some reason. For some silver reason. Alright, well, it's still gonna be a great evening, so I hope you guys got your snacks and your beverage of choice ready for step number 10 out of 10. We can take a look at the scores before the players are gonna go onto the tracks. Right now, it is of course probably the winner already out of the 10 steps. I don't think anyone is gonna pass Carl Jr. here after the 10 steps. It is gonna be the triple world champion from Canada, who is right now on 558 points, followed by Pack with 401 and Spam with 234. So I would say the top 2 are kinda set in stone, Radiance, and then after that it is gonna be very interesting with Spam sitting there at 234, so he is being chased by Bren, who is sitting there with 203 points. However, Bren has devoted most of his time to the Zlan event that has been going on throughout the whole week, so he didn't really practice the maps too much as far as I know, so he is maybe not going to be able to pass Spam here in the total standing, but that's not really gonna play a crucial role at the end of the day. So Bren with 203, Kappa with 158, also safe-ish, but then we have the bottom places below him. We have Scrappy with 144, we have Papu with 134, Cap and Rollin with 124 and 114. So there's a 10-point gap between each player in the top 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then there's Massa, of course, with the 66 points, which is gonna be quite hard for him to catch up. But then, as you said, Mr. Radiance, we have double points. So how do you think, is it really gonna change the player's mentality knowing that it's double points at stake now?
Yes, of course. They're gonna practice much more, I believe, than they've done in the previous steps, if they have the opportunity for it, of course. I know Dunsty hasn't practiced so much because of uni exams and stuff, but I think the people that are in the run for the playoffs and that I think it's a 5-way battle, they are definitely going to have practiced so much.
Yeah, I think it's kinda, yeah, it's gonna be like completely insane because the pressure is now so high for the players that I have just mentioned, the players that are so close to each other in the points. Now that there's double points, it's gonna be even especially important to keep the points. So going on to map number 5, that will be an absolute test for the nerves of every single player that is gonna be competing, because at one mistake could be enough to lose all of the points, and yeah, we're speaking about really big points this time around. So yeah, it's gonna be absolutely insane.
Yep. It's gonna be a great battle, and I'm looking forward for it to start in about 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna start here on our first map. This is gonna be our introduction map, a very special one. As you can see, the players are driving on the roof of the stadium, so we have a little bit of an exciting map here to begin it with. We have Warm Down by Santana, and of course I have a beautiful video preview prepared for you, made by Pikes. Enjoy. So this is going to be our first map right here. It is Warm Down by Santana. A very simple map altogether, where not a lot can go wrong, but if someone or if something goes wrong, then you are gonna suffer from massive time loss, because this track is very, very fast paced. So it's a lot about momentum, a lot about carrying the momentum through the stadium part, through the grass part. And here we go with step number 10, the grand finale here in the first half of the TrackMania Grand League. We are gonna kick it off with 5 laps this time around. We don't have 10 laps, we have 5 laps this time, since the laps or the individual laps are a little bit longer. But here we go with the first lap, and we see Pack already with a very bad landing onto the stadium roof. Pack, of course, the one that is second in the league ranking right now with 401 points, with the weakest start so far. Let's take a look at Massa. Massa is the one that many people are going to take a look out on, because he is someone that could potentially, mathematically spoken, still make it to the playoffs. But he needs an absolute banger of a step. But right now, he is actually off to a moderately good start right now. He is in a fight here with all of the others, jumping up the sculpture into lap number 2. Massa on 2 behind Scrappy, and in front of Roland, Spam, Bits, Papu, Dunstan, Dexter.
Yeah, Scrappy with a huge start right now, already finding himself 400s ahead even. So, or 410s ahead, sorry. And he will definitely be looking to keep up that performance so far. Spam, though, a little more speed than Scrappy going onto that big roof of the stadium. And he will catch up quite a bit to him, actually even overtaking him. But currently, it is a pretty sick battle, actually, for 8th place between 4 players, Dunsty, Bits, Kappa, and Cap right now, currently having a sick battle. So it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Yeah, this jump is very, very difficult, because you need to get the perfect landing. Like, you want to jump as far as possible, and you want to get that sort of nosedive down the sculpture, so you minimize the airtime as much as possible. This is the players. This is what the players are kind of opting for. And these players at the top have done it really, really well. My camera is right now on Massa, who is 0.8 behind the leader, which is Diffuse Kid Spam from the Netherlands right now. We have a double lead for the Benelux, but here is Roland from Austria for Team Pulse, who is, of course, fighting for a position in the playoffs, because he is on the edge of potentially not making it. So Roland right now on P2, and he is continuing to stay in front of Scrappy, but Scrappy is, of course, going for the attack. Massa on 4, then we have the Gamers Origin duo with Papu and Cap jumping through the multi-lap now. Everyone gets it pretty well. Oh, Papu with a very wonky landing. That is going to cost him a lot of time right here. That is going to be very, very bad exit speed, and he is going to lose 3 positions in an instant.
3 positions down for Papu, now in the hotspot on that 8th place, but below him is actually Carl Jr. finding himself in a red position for the for probably the 2nd time of this TMGL season so far, being in a red spot. That is not something that we are used to see, but knowing him, he is definitely able to catch up and maybe even take home at least the top 5. But the top 4 are currently driving super fast, all within a second of each other. And then a small gap down to Cap, who's currently in 5th place. But it is super close battle between the top 4 players here. And let's just see how it goes. Currently in the final lap, actually.
Yeah, we're indeed also, already in the final lap here, lap number 5. It is still the triple lead with Spam, Roland, and Scrappy. So these 3 are giving it all, but Scrappy had to respawn. Scrappy had to respawn, jumping up the stadium. He did not make the cut, and that will push him down really, really badly in the scoreboard, and that will leave Spam and Roland up for the lead right here. These 2 are going to battle it out. The final jump coming up. Spam still having a small lead over Roland. The difference is 600th of a second, jumping up the sculpture now. Who's going to get the finish earlier? Roland with a 180 spin, but he's not enough to pass Spam. 1700ths of a second between Spam and Roland. Papu gets 3rd, Massa gets 4th. Carl Jr., as you said, Radiance, actually got up to 5th place. You could almost assume this is pre-recorded. Then we have Cap on 6th, we have Bits on 7th, Dunster, Kappa, Scrappy, Pack with a disappointing 11th place, to be quite honest. This is something that I did not expect to see from him. Machi actually gets passed by Danik B here in the last straight. Is Danik B gonna make it? He will make it just in time. And then we have Machi, Dexter, and Zaburst, all with a DNF.
What an ending to this first map right here. Spam and Roland. Roland with tricks to actually almost nose-bugging himself into the finish before Spam.
Yeah.
So that was actually a super interesting strategy that Roland had prepared for us there, and we got to see it shown off beautifully, almost overtaking Spam for those 40 points that is now, and taking home 100 euros. But of course, Spam takes it home now, and he will be 100 euros happier in his wallet.
Absolutely.
So that is good for him. And on to map number 2 we go. You guys have seen this one before.
Indeed, we are going on to the second map. We can maybe have a quick look at the points here because, of course, step 10, double points, so the points are going to be a lot bigger. The numbers that we're going to work with this time are going to be a lot bigger. So Spam with 40 points now, Roland with 24, Papu with 20, Massa with 16, the points that he, of course, desperately needs if he still wants to have a saying in the playoff qualification. Carl Jr. with a disappointing-ish 5th place. We all know that he is, of course, always someone that is in the top 2, top 3. This time around, only a 5th place, but, I mean, he doesn't really need the points anyway, right? Then we have
True.
Cap, of course, with 12 points, Bits with 10, Dunster with 8, Kappa with 6, Scrappy with 6 as well. So top 9, top 10, top 11 here with Kappa, Scrappy, and Pack. They definitely didn't shine through as much as I expected them to do, especially Scrappy with that very, very unfortunate fail in the final lap. That is really going to push him down, like, mentality-wise as well. So I hope he's going to be able to recover from that. Otherwise, Scrappy is going to have a pretty hard time keeping up the points intact for the remaining tracks. But yeah,
definitely.
Underpass. This is the dirt map that we have seen last time in step number 9 as the final map. This time around it is the second map. Map preview time, enjoy. Oh, Bren joined the server. Well, hello there. Hello there, Bren. A little bit late, but yeah, I guess he still wants to give it a try.
Better late than never, right?
Exactly. And he only missed one map, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, map preview time, T-Tours. And just in time we are for the beginning of map number 2. Now the players can lose points. In the left side you can see the red positions in the scoreboard.
Oh,
wait, who went to the right? Bren. Bren is still a little bit asleep here, I think. Bren went to the right, didn't take the boost. He's like, we don't need that boost. We don't need that boost, I'm gonna get it anyway. But, I just spectated Zaburst, who played golf with friends, who fell into that hole. But, yeah, to finish off the sentence, finally, that I wanted to put up here, is that once you place yourself in the red positions at the end of the track, you will lose all of the points that you have accumulated beforehand. So that is going to be very important, especially now that we have these big points being at stake. 10 laps on Underpass, and we are approaching the identity of this track, with Scrappy making an early mistake, so he already made contact with the identity right here. So we are jumping through the sculptures right here, where it is very important to keep control over your car, and that is something that Pack indeed did not do. So Pack with a respawn, and Pack really not showing what he's able to do right now.
No, Roland as well down into a 13th place. Pretty disappointing for him so far, of course. That was just lap number 1. We have to go through that sculpture park 10 times, and it is really difficult to pull off perfectly. So definitely some mistakes are going to happen for their opponents as well. But currently in the hot seat is Spam, but he has accumulated a small gap down to the 9th place with Danik B there, and he is increasing the gap so far. So good performance by him, and let's see if he can keep that up. But great battle for 4th place right now.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. It is Dunster, of course, the man, the myth, the legend that got his best position, or one of the best positions in his entire TMGL journey last time on this track. Massa! Into the pillars he goes, and that is going to be a very, very costly mistake for the German player, for Berlin International Gaming. Massa now down by many, many seconds, and this could potentially ruin his playoffs.
Yeah, really unfortunate stuff for Massa. He needs to go full focus fast win now if he wants to catch up and not make any more mistakes, as he is 8 seconds behind 8th place now. So a big job for him to catch up now, and we'll find out later if he can do it. But currently Pack and Scrappy are battling it out for 8th place. Pack just about in the lead right now, and touches the wall, unfortunately, and that puts Scrappy up into 8th place now, overtaking Pack. So a 0.5 deficit right now from Scrappy down to Pack. So let's see what Pack can do here.
Yeah, Pack definitely not seeming to be super prepared this time around. We have seen a lot better performances by the British players, so maybe he also kind of just, oh my days. Now he went fully into the pole as well, and that is actually going to give Massa the opportunity to go for an overtake here. So Massa is going to gain 1 position, goes up to 12th, and also Roland is now up to 10th place. He finds himself behind Bren, and also Roland is someone that needs to keep the points inside of his backpack. Otherwise, he might also struggle qualifying for the playoffs right here. So Roland right now on position number 10, the Austrian player, 14 poles right now behind Bren, who had that little blunder in the beginning, but other than that, actually a pretty good pace here for him so far. But we can maybe take a look at the front. We have the Gamers Origin duo with Cap and Papu in the lead right now. They're doing a tremendous job keeping Dunce and Spam right behind them. And also Carl Jr. and Pack are not too far behind. We have a little bit of a bigger gap down to 7th place, down to the Belgian player Scrappy for Team Reflex, so he is going to be out of this one. But Kappa is actually going to give us a great overview over what's happening here, jumping through the sculptures this time around. No one's making a mistake. Kappa really oversteering a lot right there, but he's able to stabilize and keeps the speed somewhat intact going into lap number 5.
Papu actually had a small touch on the big pillar, and Dunsty had the opportunity to overtake him just for a little bit, but that leaves Cap with a pretty significant margin down into 2nd place. And Cap, I probably wouldn't have set him to be in 1st place right now, as he didn't show that the other time, but of course he has probably prepared this a whole lot more than in the previous step, and it definitely shows off here. Of course, Papu did have a blunder last step on the identity part, and it's going to be interesting to see if he does that again.
Yeah, the thing about Papu is that he probably needs to live up by all of the expectations that people bring up to him. They're like, yeah, Papu, he's the best dirt player, he's easy winning like the underpass, but that is easier said than done. So for Papu, it is going to be difficult, but we see a risky approach right there by Papu and by Dunster, both jumping through the middle part of the sculpture. And now Papu is actually going for the overtake. We have a little switch right there in the lead of this race so far. Papu now up to P1, leaving Cap right now down to 2nd place. But I think we need to put some spotlight onto Roland right now, who is on the hot seat fighting with Danik B right now. So Roland, if he wants to keep his 24 points that he accumulated on map 1, he needs to pass Danik B, and he needs to stay in front until the very end. Massa with 16 points is already 13.6 seconds behind, so that is pretty much an early GG at this point. And also Bits with 10 points, who did a really good job on the first map, is most likely gonna say goodbye to his points at this point.
Yeah, saying goodbye to his points is going to be very unfortunate. But Massa taking a big loss here. He needs some victories on these next couple of maps if he wants to still have a chance of doing playoffs. 16 points is a lot at this point, and he's only going to get like maybe 4 or 8 points for a 13th place. So that's going to be very tough if his opponents, for example, Kappa, and if Roland gets up into 8th place again,
which he did right now.
Exactly, that's going to be very difficult for Massa to catch up in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. The long run, this is exactly, like, this is a key word. The long run right now is really important, because we are talking about these big amount of points. So you really don't want to find yourself losing them in the middle of the step, and then you have to just push it. But at the end, it's just not going to be enough, because in the best case, Massa would now just be able to get 60 points, which is still a lot, but it would barely, maybe, it probably wouldn't be enough to qualify for the playoffs. So Massa needs to just step it up himself. He has nothing to lose at this point. He just needs to go all in and then hope that the others are gonna make a mistake. But yeah, we can actually take a look at the front as well, because we have a little overlap right here right now on the burst. But this is not the reason why I want to take a look at the front, because it is Carl Jr. now up to 3rd place. Dunstes sadly dropped down to P5 right now going into lap 8. He has been overtaken by Spam and by Carl Jr. And also Scrappy's now trying to have a say and goes for the overtake here in that right-hander. Scrappy maintaining a lot more speed through that right turn, and with that will be able to go up to P5. And after what happened on map 1, I think he's really looking for a redemption right now.
Yeah, Scrappy really needs some points right now. I believe he's also in the mix of the playoffs battle. Yeah, he is. So a good performance right now in the second map by Scrappy, and he really needs to keep those points going for him. And of course, green positions will make that happen, and that's currently what he's doing. So good for Scrappy. I just wanna point out that Papu is now actually 1.5 seconds ahead of Cap, who was 1.5 seconds ahead of him, but then makes a small mistake. Let's catch up to him a little bit, but nothing too big. Actually, Cap going for the wall ride line, or the wall bump line, but not actually making the wall bump. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, he's slowing you down a lot just to make sure that he doesn't get the same kind of bug that Papu had in the previous step. Maybe you guys remember, those that have watched step 9. Papu actually got very unlucky with the wall bang that is kind of intended in that dirt downhill left-hander at the end. Papu actually had a perfectly noble approach, but his car just bounced away randomly, and that really cost him a lot of positions. So Cap is maybe trying to avoid that, learning from the mistakes that his teammate, or in this case opponent, did, because here in the TMGL, of course, even if you're in a team, you are opponents. It doesn't matter whether you wear the same organization tag or not. You are opponents on the track, and right now they're giving it all right now in the front. Spam has moved up to P3, Scrappy to P4, and Carl Jr. has dropped down to 5th place after a rather wonky entry into lap number 9. And now we have this identity part again. Everyone doing it nicely. Oh, Scrappy wobbling a lot at the landing. That is going to cost him a lot of time. And actually, Cap has made a mistake. Cap has dropped down to position 3, and that will put Spam up to 2nd place, which would give him an extraordinary amount of points right here, which is of course amazing, but I don't think that's going to be enough to pass Papu. 1.9 seconds, and we are in lap 10. This is going to be a hard nut to crack for Spam, but I think 2nd place is more than he wants right now at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he is so far ahead of the opposition. He needs to go either top 8 or just go in fully for the money right now.
Yep.
But Cap actually now getting overtaken by both Carl Jr. and Scrappy after having
this
a lower
so
gear in that dirt uphill there. Of course, you want to maintain your gears in order to keep your speed, and of course, gearing down in an uphill is super bad for your car's speed, and that's exactly what happened to Cap right there.
Oh,
but Papu
coming up to the ending now. Who's gonna take it? It is Spam on 2nd place. Carl Jr. just a hair of Scrappy here towards the finish line. Cap will remain in front of Dunster for that top 6. And then we have Kappa and Roland. So Roland will keep the 24 points. Was able to extend his lead over Danik B, who placed 9th right now. Pack with another red position. He is gonna get all his points deducted. Same for Bren, but he didn't have any points to begin with. Massa up to 11th place. Bren has actually... Wait. Did Bren let Massa pass right there? I mean, not that it matters. I mean, maybe it does. It does matter for a couple points, maybe. But yeah, Massa will lose 16 points right here, which is probably the end for him. That is probably going to be the end for him, because he needs to win all 3 maps now. By the way, small correction. Earlier I said that Massa could only win 60 points in the best case, but that's of course without the double points. So he could theoretically win 120 points. The question is, will that happen? That is of course easier said than done. But right now we have the step ranking. Spam remains in the lead with 64 points, followed by Papu, who goes up to 2nd place with 60 points in total. Carl Jr. up to 3rd with 34 points. So we have quite a big gap in the top 2 down to 3rd. Roland on 4th place, the Austrian player with 32 points right now in front of Cap with 26, Scrappy with 22, Dunster with 20, Kappa with 16, Danik B with 6, Pack with 6, Massa 4, Bran with 4, Machi 2, and then we have Zaburst, Bits, and Dexter with no points so far going into map number 3. Another one that we have seen, another one that you should be familiar with, and another one that is going to give us a lot of good fights, Skipping Stones by Superall and AO. And we are back for the last minute of the warm-up. This is a track that is fairly manageable. It doesn't really have a lot of spots where you have any sort of unfair section. This is really all about skill. Everything is skill related. You need to be one with the car in certain parts, especially at the identity that you see right here with the free camera. You are jumping up the sculpture, you ride on it, and then you drop down onto another sculpture, which is not the hardest thing that we have seen in the TMGL, but mistakes can still happen. If they do, they are going to give you a substantial time loss, and those mistakes would probably just ruin your entire race immediately.
Yeah, definitely. What we're going to look out for now is that the Massa, he really needs points, so he's going to go full risk at the moment. He needs luck on his side as well, because for the battle for 8th place, he's with Papu, Kappa, Scrappy, Cap, and Roland, and they all have a high amount of points right now. So he really needs them to also crash with him being in the at least top 3, I'd say.
Yep, definitely. So we have to put a lot of eyes on Massa now, the German player who needs a miracle and a half if he wants to qualify himself for the playoffs of the TrackMania Grand League beta season, map number 3 of the final step. And we are currently following Carl Jr., who took 5th on the first map and 3rd on the second map, so there's a little bit of an upwards trend. Let's see if he's going to be able to continue that one. Spam has gotten a nasty gear down in the left-hander, has lost a lot of speed, falling down the pack right now, finding himself on P12 right now. But, of course, 10 laps here as well, so a lot can happen. And especially at the identity part and the part after that, which you're going to see in a blink of an eye, there can be certain things that can possibly go wrong. We have seen that in step 9 as well, where a couple of smaller mistakes have happened. Yep, indeed, thanks to the heads up here. Pack with a small mistake, but didn't really lose all too much time so far.
No, so far, of course, it is only first lap, and he is just about under a second behind the 8th place right now, and they're pretty much all within 0.3 seconds of each other, actually. So a sick battle currently for that top 8, and for that first place, anyone can still take it at the moment. So we're just gonna watch out for mistakes happening by these players, because they will eventually happen.
Oh, there's the first one, Bren.
Like Bren right there, and he actually retired.
Did he retire by accident? I think he actually, yeah, I think he wanted to respawn, but he hit retire. So Bren is out, and he will lose out on his 4 points. That came kind of unexpectedly right there. But I think Bren is not really gonna focus too much on this step anyway. He went home from the Zlan with, I think, 1,250 euro earlier. So I think step 10, now that he's pretty much safe in the playoffs, I think that is something that he can kind of scrap away. So Bren will be out of this race. Doesn't really matter too much for the outcome of this race. That will give Massa maybe a good opportunity. One opponent less, but as I spectate him, Massa actually dies. And this is the end. This is the end, Radiance. Massa is completely out.
Yeah, that's not looking too good for him. He needs a lot of luck, just to say the least, on his side in order to make it now, even for 8th place, because he is 10 seconds behind 8th place now, and I don't see that happening without the other people, at least 4 people making mistakes on that sculpture as well. So really unfortunate stuff for Massa. He's prepared so much on his streams and just makes a couple of big mistakes, and that completely ruins it for him. So very unfortunate to see for him.
Yep.
But I'm sure that the other players, they are really happy about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, one more opponent down, I guess, after Bren. It is now Massa. And also Dunster, who is sitting there with 20 points in total, has dropped down to last place, unfortunately. So Dunster must have made a mistake somewhere at the identity section. He is right behind the burst right now. Tries to go for an overtake, but also for Dunster, it is gonna look grim to keep these 20 points. Let's go into the lead, though. It is actually an insane battle between Carl Jr. and Kappa for that first place, for the 40 points here in step number 10. That is a neck-and-neck battle right now through the first couple of drifts right here in the lap number 4. Kappa getting an early lead. Carl Jr. actually releasing a little bit earlier to get a tire line around the left bend. Didn't really pay off for him too much, though, so Kappa will still remain in first place. Opts for a slightly inside line. Carl Jr. with more speed, slightly different trajectory here through the freewheel section, but all in all, without too much of a change here for the top 2. Scrappy on third. Spam already almost a whole second behind the leader. So a small gap right here, but nothing too big right now in the top 8, which is just less than 3 seconds, yeah, apart from each other.
Yeah, Kaba actually doing such a good job now. Only 16 points in total, and him being in the battle is really going to bump him up quite a bit, and maybe save him if he makes a couple of small mistakes, because there is a big margin down into 8th place. So definitely good stuff for Kappa. Also, if you just take a look at this top 5 battle, or top 6 even, within a second, and 10th of each, or 1/10 of each other, it's just super good. That's what you want to see, and you can definitely tell that these players have practiced even more than they had for the previous step.
Yeah, you can clearly see a difference. Now the players are really going all in. Roland has actually dropped down to 9th place, so this is the player that we have to look out for again. He has dropped down onto a red position, so keep in mind, if you are on the red position, you lose all of the points. And in the position of Roland, he would lose 32 points, which would be a catastrophe for him, I would say. It's not like he's in a risk right now of not making it to the playoff, now that Massa is pretty much eliminated. But he still needs the points, and right now he's struggling to keep up with the pace of the opponents that are right in front of him. He sees Pack and Danik B. Oof, what a close jump right there by Roland. Almost makes contact with the sculpture on the left side midair, but he's still within, yeah, what is this? Not even half a second maybe down to Pack and Danik B. So this fight is definitely not over yet. We are in lap number 6, so still a lot of laps left to go. Going up to the front here, Radiance, let's take a look at... yeah, Papu, who's doing actually pretty good here on this type of track. Right now, right behind Spam.
Yeah, he's right behind Spam, doing a pretty good job. Actually, a very solid overall player. Maybe taking a bit of a sloppy line through the that freewheeling block right there, and losing a small bit of time, but not too much going on there, as he is still pretty safe in 5th position. Just currently trying not to drop down to a 9th place, I think, rather than trying to catch up to Carl and Kappa, who Carl actually, they're actually inside each other.
Look at this.
Insane.
This is absolutely crazy. Let's take a look here. These two players are having a consistent and fast pace. This is actually mind-blowing. Both of them have been at this same status for the entire race, pretty much. They have been giving it all back and forth, 1st and 2nd place, here and there, top and down. Like, this has been going all over the place. Carl Jr. right now having accumulated a small lead over Kappa. This is not even a 10th at the checkpoint. 0.05 of a second between Kappa and Carl Jr. The two world champions. We have a triple world champion and the former world champion here, or rather the current world champion from 2018, Kappa for Team Sampi from the Czech Republic right now, actually trailing behind the triple world champion from Canada, Carl Jr., holding up the flag for Team Solary. Slightly different approaches right there. Carl Jr. actually using the Rammstein to his advantage to go for a slightly lower jump trajectory, but all in all, not too big of a time gain right there for the Canadian. Kappa still trying to make something happen right there. 1700s now, going up the sculpture. No one getting the unfortunate slowdown that Massa got. Massa actually, yeah, to pick up on that little mistake that he had. I think that was just a very, very unfortunate slowdown, because he didn't really jump too far left or anything. I think just that one of his wheels slightly clipped the edge of the sculpture, and that just killed his entire momentum. And then he just couldn't make it past the next drop. I think that's kind of what happened to Massa, who actually finds himself on 11th place. So he's actually not too far behind, but he's still gonna miss out on a lot of these big points. So it doesn't really matter if he keeps the 4 points or not, because Massa needs the big boy. He needs 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and this chance is eliminated completely, at least in this race.
At least in this race, I think you're right on that one, and that 11 seconds up, or 12 seconds even, for to catch up to Carl Jr. That's not going to happen. We all know that. But in the meantime, whilst we've been spectating the guys in the top, actually Pack has made a mistake, and that Roland actually go up to 8th place. So he's going to be very happy with that.
Yep.
Trying to maintain those 32 points, and he actually has a gap of 5 seconds down into 9th place. So Pack must have made a mistake on the identity part, kind of like Massa did.
Possibly.
But maybe not as big as Massa's, because he is still very far behind. But Kappa and Carl Jr. are still going at it. I don't know if if I'm wrong here, but I believe Kappa actually won this map last step. I could be wrong.
Possibly, I don't quite remember right now because we're in the
Maybe
heat of the
Twitch chat
situation
remembers.
right now. Maybe Twitch chat remembers indeed, but this fight is just absolutely crazy. I don't think we have had a fight that has been going on through the whole race just like this. I don't think we ever had that. It was always like a back and forth between multiple players, but we never had a 1v1 like this. This is absolutely mad right here in step number 10. Kappa now having the slight upper hand. Carl Jr.'s lap 8 was actually 800s faster than the one from Kappa, so Carl Jr. had the faster lap 8, but right now it is Kappa that has a slight upper hand, but here it is Carl Jr. that is now accelerating a little bit earlier out of that left-hander. Going onto the sculpture now, Carl Jr. almost making contact with the sculpture on the left side, but he's able to avoid that. Kappa, however, with very great speed now through the skipping stone section, and we are gonna go into the last lap right now with Massa actually going up to 9th place, but still 5.6 seconds behind. Roland seems to be pretty safe right now. He sees Danik B and Cap in front of him, and as long as Roland can stay on that P8, he is gonna keep his 32 points in his backpack. Cap is on 6, Papu is on 5. These positions look to be pretty set in stone right now. The only position that is not set in stone right now is the first place. The position that is going to give the player 40 points in total. Kappa right now in the lead, followed by Carl Jr. The gap right now, 900ths of a second. Carl Jr. once again going for a slight low jump, which does not really give him too big enough advantage, but he gets a lot of speed up the hill, and he's creeping in closer to Kappa. Carl Jr. now starting to drift a little bit earlier, tries to close into Kappa, but both of them getting a very decent exit speed here out of the left-hander. Up the sculpture now, we're coming towards the end of the track. The last sculpture coming up, who's gonna get the last turn best? Carl Jr. is still trailing in the background, and it's waiting for a mistake by Kappa to happen, but Kappa is gonna stay in front, and Carl Jr. is not gonna be able to go for an overtake, but we have 300ths of a second between first and second place on skipping stones. That was absolutely bonkers.
Roland actually going up into 7th place after Danik B and Cap have a sick battle for 6th place actually, but Danik B making a slight mistake in the end, and Roland actually taking home 7th place. But yeah, what a battle for first place that was.
Man.
300ths of a second, or 300ths of a second separating number 1 and number 2. Oh my god. That's something that I don't think we're going to see again.
I don't think so. This map was pretty much perfect for this purpose because it was a very technical map where Carl Jr. and Kappa can really shine through with their expertise, and they exactly did that. None of them have made a single mistake. They have driven 10 minutes of full high-octane TrackMania without a mistake. This is absolutely insane, and this is why these two can call themselves world champions. By the way, I think, look at positions 7 and 8, both of them being 7.67 behind the leader. So I don't think we had an exact tie here, but that was apart from... It was a thing between a couple thousands there, I think. I didn't catch the exact time right there, but that was crazy, man. That was ridiculously close, actually.
Insane stuff going on for 7th place and for first place. But now Spam with 80 points, he is really looking very solid right now. Papu as well, 74. And this map has a couple of dirt and lull elements, so I think Papu has a good shot on this map as well.
Definitely, this map is gonna be another new map added to the rotation. We're gonna play the map preview right here for you guys. It is gonna be TMGL Bounce, a new map. The only time that you're gonna see this one, because this is gonna be the last step, so this map is not gonna be reused twice, like it is normally the case. But again, this is gonna be a truly exciting one. Bounce by Santana. Map number 4 out of 5. This is gonna be exciting. this is gonna be our fourth map. This is the map with the identity that you have all just seen in the map preview. It is the backflip shenanigan that is happening at the end, where we can maybe take a quick look with the free cam, where you are supposed to smash yourself into that platform, which will cause a flip, and you will have to land on the other side of the ramp and then continue your journey. And this one's gonna have a special twist, because a couple of players, if not all of the players, are gonna go for what you have seen in the map preview, and that is not to land in the quarter pipe, but to land right in the multi-lap. But that is only allowed in the final lap. Let's see if that's gonna happen, but we are off to the fourth map right here. This one is gonna be absolutely stunning as well.
Yeah, Scrappy taking home an early lead, but nothing, of course, is set in stone. Pack, I see, had a small gear down, so he'll drop down a little bit, but nothing too big in the picture, unless you're battling like you did in the last map, where every small mistake counts.
Yep.
And I really hope we get to see another one of those battles, because that was really, really amazing to watch and cast as well. But Spam actually taking home a pretty early lead, 0.1 of a second already up in the lead, so he is going to be having the momentum going into this first little ramp skip that is allowed.
Oh, Massa has actually messed it up a little bit.
Oh, Massa with a small mistake, yeah.
Yep, clipped the wall on the right side, so this is a ramp skip that is allowed. This is a ramp skip that the players are allowed to do, so a small risk that you can take. It saves quite a bunch of time. Not too difficult, but it can still be tricky, especially in the pressure situation. Now we're coming up to the flip. Who is going to make it? We're currently following Scrappy. Spam jumping very far left onto the ramp, but everyone makes it here in the top 8, I think. No one with a massive mistake so far. Oh, but that was a British player that launched himself out of the track, and who that might be? It is Pack that drops down to last.
So, are we going to see 5 red positions for Pack in this step right here? Or, I mean, if he continues this, he is going to get 5 red ones, because he's only been doing red steps so far.
Yep.
And he's about to get another one, so he might want to step it up a little bit. Maybe he is doing the one map strategy. Who knows?
Oh,
but,
a lot of mistakes happening. Did you see those? Spam with a small mistake right there, went from 1st to 9th, and also Papu having made quite a massive blunder going down to 10th place. So a couple of mistakes happening and as well.
Oh, Massa,
with Papu, another one. Massa. Whoa, he dropped down far. Massa with a mistake. Did he mess up the ramp skip again, or what happened?
Yeah, he clipped the ramp a little bit, and luckily he didn't flip, but he didn't get the freewheel skip, and he had very low speed. So he drops down into 11th place, just behind Papu and Dunsty right now. 1.5 seconds after 8th place, which is occupied by Carl Jr.
Oh,
so,
Kappa! And also Dunsty with a terrible landing on the other side of the quarter pipe. Kappa has lost down a substantial amount of time right there. And here we see Pack and Carl Jr. Carl Jr. actually on 2nd to last place right now. He must have made a massive mistake somewhere. But I thought he made that landing properly. I didn't really see any mistake right there happening by Carl Jr. But he is down to 2nd to last place. 58 points on the edge of getting lost. Which is something that we have seen happening already, or almost happening, while we see Dunst actually respawning there as well. So 1 extra position here for Carl Jr. Now he's gonna go up to 13th place even passes Dexter, so also Dexter with a mistake. But yeah, Carl Jr. has been in that bottom position already, but he was able to come back, and he was always able to stay away from the red positions. Now he needs to do that again. He's on 13th place, 6.4 seconds behind 8th place. We see Kappa also in the distance, also struggling a lot with this map. So we're actually seeing a surprisingly big amount of maps, a big amount of mistakes, and also Bits in first. We haven't seen this one yet, Radiance.
No, really good job by Bits so far, but I just want to take a touch on that, what you said, that Carl Jr. is about to lose 58 points. He is about to lose 58 points, that is correct. It is a big amount of points, but of course he is 200 points ahead in the grand scheme of things, so I wouldn't worry too much about Carl Jr. I would probably worry a little more about Kappa.
Yep.
And Pack actually big mistake once again, and he is now very far behind in last place. So Kappa actually in the battle for the playoffs is about to lose 56 points as it is right now. But yeah, Bits and Scrappy and Roland and Spam actually as well battling it out for first currently.
Yeah, we are in lap number 4, so we're not even halfway through, and we see a battle between the top 4 that is within 1 second, not even 1 second right now. Currently following Spam, who gets pretty decent speed out of this one. Closes into his opponents right in front of him. Scrappy now going for the overtake here on the Lithuanian player Bits, who is about to take his best TMGL results so far. But we still have a couple of laps here to go where mistakes can happen, and they can happen to anyone in the top 8 right now. Here we have the jump. Bits jumping dangerously close to the left right here. Is he gonna make it? What a save by Bits. That could have gone wrong. But he goes from P1 to P4 and even to P5 as Papu is now going for the overtake. And also Massa closing in with more speed. Bits with a very shaky landing right there. And Cap with a respawn as well. Thanks for seeing that one. Cap now also dropping down into the red position. So we have 2 players that have massive points racked up in the previous maps that are about to lose them.
Yeah, and Kappa as well in the hot seat right now in 8th place. So him going up from 11th into 8th place within the blink of an eye is really good for him, as he really needs those 56 points on his bank account right now. But yeah, Scrappy has a slight gap now up or for 2nd place, where Spam just overtook Roland, and it seems like Roland has a little more speed. And yeah, Roland actually fully skipped the freewheeling there, it seems. So he will jump up into 2nd place and probably keep that. Spam with a bit of low speed amount there going through that section, and he will drop down. Roland almost hitting the wall right there. So once again we go up to the identity. Let's see if anyone will mess it up.
Let's take a look here. We have the free camera on the ramp. Everyone is landing it here in the top 3. Very close. Papu makes it. Massa makes it. Bits makes it as well this time around. And then we have a very big gap between Bits and Danik B. The gap is 7 whole seconds in the green positions. That is something that we don't really see very often here in the TMGL. So this map has actually killed a lot of people already, or has destroyed the runs of many people, including the big names like Carl Jr. and Cap, who are in a fight here for position number 9, looking to lose 58 and 38 points respectively. But as you said before, these can kind of afford it, even though Cap is also still, like, he's also on the edge to the playoff qualification, so he would also make great use of these 38 points. It would be a shame if he were to lose them right now. So we should definitely clock in or take a look at them later right now. We are in lap number 6. Let's see if there's any other fight going on right now. We have Roland versus Papu. Roland definitely on a roll right now, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is positioning himself in the green positions consistently, with a 2nd place on map 1, 8th place on map 2, and a 7th place on map number 3. And also here he's looking to continue his upwards trend right now, jumping onto the ramp right here. And everyone makes it so far. No mistakes in the top 4. Did anything happen in the back, Radiance?
Not that I know of so far. Danik B and Kappa now all just coming up to the jump, as there is a pretty big difference. Danik B though getting a much better exit on that start-finish line, and he will go a little further ahead of Kappa, but nothing is said and done. Actually, Kappa, I think he clipped the outside wall on that dirt part, and that leaves Cap to catch up a little bit, but nothing too major at the moment. But it is a battle for Kappa right now to maintain that 8th place. He really needs it. But Cap, he needs to get that 8th place as well, because they're both in the battle for overall 8th place, actually. It is all about 8th places at the moment, it seems.
Definitely. This is really close. So let's take a look here. We are in lap number 7. By the way, small lag here from the server. So I hope the server's not going to crash or anything, because we had that in step 9 already. So hopefully the server will remain intact, but like right now it looks pretty good at least, so we can continue taking a look at the battles right now. We have a 4-man battle, as you said right here. Danik B, Kappa, Cap, and Carl Jr. very close to each other right now, all within, 1.5 seconds maybe, so not really a lot that is spreading the players apart right now, going into the next bounce right here. Lap number 7, looks like Danik B, Kappa, Carl Jr., and Cap, everyone is making it just fine. A little problem that you maybe can't really see, or maybe don't even acknowledge as the spectators, is that whenever you...
Kappa make a mistake!
Oh.
Kappa made a big mistake. He had to respawn on the start-finish block, and he is now 6 seconds behind 8th place, and that is looking very dire for him. He is pretty much out of it right now, and that is going to suck so much for him.
This is gonna hurt really badly. So Kappa actually, with that mistake, did you actually see what happened to him? Like, what caused his respawn?
I think he just flipped on
on the landing.
Yeah, on the landing, and then...
Ay.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
Yeah, exactly. You really hate to see it. And yeah, Kappa now finding himself 6.5 seconds behind 8th place. So that is gonna be pretty much the end for his 56 points. He was doing absolutely phenomenally so far in step number 10. Ooh, Bits now actually with a small mistake in front of the bounce. Now, I'm actually curious to see if he's gonna make it still. That's gonna be a very shaky landing for the Lithuanian player. Oh no!
Turtle?
Is he gonna turtle? Turtle? No,
Nope.
he's respawning. Bits is out. Bits is dead. Bits is dead. And oh my god, he
very
just...
good for Cap though.
Wait, Bits made another mistake. So Bits is completely out of this one. Bits down to 9th place at least. This is good for Kappa as well. Because Kappa could maybe close in if another one of these mistakes happen. But this is very unfortunate for Bits. Because he was first. Gotta keep in mind, he was first. He was about to take his first place in the TMGL in the last step. And now this dream has shattered.
Yeah, down into 12th place. Feels Bits, man. That is unfortunate for him. But good for Kappa, because he's up into 9th place now, but still 7 seconds behind Cap. But it is a battle right now for first place with Scrappy and Spam going at it. And Scrappy is only on 42 points in total, so him taking home with first place would really be great.
Yeah, we have actually seen a small mistake by Papu, so Massa has actually going up to 4th place, which is good, but certainly not what he wanted. So a 4th place won't get him anywhere close to the playoffs. So Massa right now, yeah, trying to hold the damage down as much as possible right now after the 2 red positions that he clocked in on the previous 2 maps. He got 11th and 9th, so this is definitely not what Massa was expecting after, yeah, what he was announcing beforehand. But yeah, we are in the last lap right here. It is Scrappy who's most likely gonna take it. Spam is trying to attack right there, but a 0.6, almost 0.7 disadvantage from the Dutch player is gonna be really difficult to come back from. Roland on a very solid 3rd place. I don't think he's gonna throw that away. He is experienced enough to know that there's no need to risk at this point anymore. There's nothing left to be gained for the Austrian player. Massa on 4th, Papu on 5th, Carl Jr. on 6th, Cap on 7th, Danik B on 8th. And then it is Kappa, who is going to be the biggest loser of this one with 56 points.
There's still the identity, though.
There's still the identity. Indeed. I got the camera here. Let's take a look. The final time the players are going to bounce. Scrappy's going for it. Spam is going for it. Spam is going for the short jump. Oh. And he almost went for the overtake. Mamma mia, pizzeria. Well, that was a close one right here. Roland taking 3rd.
Oh, Massa mistake?
Massa has actually finished. It is all good. Papu will take 5th, Carl Jr. on 6th, 7th place goes towards Cap, and here's Danik B, who is going to take the last available green position. Kappa, minus 56 points. That is gonna hurt. Machi on 10th, gonna finish here in front of Dunster, who is also going for the short jump. But yeah, imagine if Spam would have gotten the 1st place with the short jump. I think I would have lost my socks right there. I think I would have lost my socks.
Yeah, that would actually be very interesting, because of a lot of the people actually missed that it was lap 10 and did the long jump. I believe the short jump that Spam did is a little bit faster, and he actually almost caught up.
Definitely, yes. He caught up 0.2, I believe, and I think Spam didn't like push it to the very limit right there. But Spam, speaking about him, he is the first one to cross the 100-point barrier in a step alone. Before, it wasn't even possible. Now it is possible, and Spam did it. Outstanding performance by Spam. 104 points in the step. He's looking to win the final one here with this performance if he keeps up on the last map. Papu with 88, Scrappy with 82, Carl Jr. with 70. Most likely not going to win this step, but then again, we still have one more map remaining, so let's not call it out too early. Roland with 62, Cap with 48, then we have a tie for Massa and Danik B, both with 22. Kappa with 6, Machi with 6, Dunster with 4, Zaburst with 4, the rest with 0. And I have seen in the chat, I'm not sure if that's correct, but right now, Kappa would be out of the playoffs. Can someone confirm that?
You can check the league rankings. I believe they fixed it so you can actually click it.
Oh!
If you hold down tab.
Well, that is actually a good twist. Oh! This is modern technology. So Kappa indeed would be out. The top 8 make it to the playoffs. The bottom 8 don't make it. We're gonna find out on the last map. It is gonna be See You Soon by Nadeo. The final map which is going to be a very, very interesting one. It is a map that combines many identities that we have had before. The final map of the TrackMania Grand League group stage, step number 10. Here we go with the final map review. The final map of this evening. This is a mashup of many parts of previous tracks that we have played in previous steps. We have, of course, the infamous Zeppelin jump that we have had a couple steps ago. We have the long jump right here that we had from another map. Then we have the slalom right here, the zigzag from Eurosky that we had very early on in the TMGL. And a couple of other spots that might be familiar to you. But all in all, this is going to be the hardest map of this step right here. The hardest one by far even, I would say. So prepare for a lot of mistakes right here and a lot of twists. The final map, and off we go. Following Spam, the leader of this step, who already touches the wall. But that is not going to play a crucial role right here as we approach the first out of 10 Zeppelin jumps. Kappa jumping high again. He did that already in the original map. And we see the first mistake by Scrappy already. Scrappy already losing out on quite some time right here. Didn't really make that jump, so Scrappy already finding himself down to 13th place, and he has 82 points. So this is already a very, wonky beginning for the Belgian player right here.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the bottom three, they failed the Zeppelin jump, I think 3 times in a row, every one of them. So unfortunate for them, I guess. But that's not where the eyes are going right now. So there is actually a small trickster you can do on the... oh, who was that? Respawn.
Oh, a respawn.
Papu respawn.
Papu?
Papu with a respawn, and maybe another one here. Oh,
Papu.
Just about makes it the second time around,
That
but he
was
is
lucky.
now 5.6 seconds down from Bren. So a total of about, I think, 7 seconds down from first place, and he has accumulated 88 points right now. So he's on a mission to catch up together with
Massa
Scrap.
dead. Carl Jr. dead. We have 2 deaths to be reported right here. Lap 2, 2 deaths, ladies and gentlemen. Massa and Carl Jr. Carl Jr. with 70 points, Massa with 22, both of them out right now. And yeah, this is exactly what we expected to see. This map is really difficult. And for someone like Spam, I just had that little shower thought without being in a shower, but you get what I mean.
Yes.
Spam, who is here with 104 points. There is no need, and absolutely no need, for Spam to risk anywhere. He needs to take it safe because he should know that many players are going to make a mistake. So he should avoid not being one of these. He should really take it safe. 104 points is the most that anyone has ever gotten before. If he throws that away, I think Spam is not going to sleep very well tonight. So let's take a look here at Spam right now, who is taking it very easy right now on the 4th position. And it is Rollin, who is doing outstandingly once again. This is a map that certainly suits him, and he goes for the Zeppelin jump. What a beautifully executed jump by the Austrian.
Ooh,
absolutely
Danik B actually
amazing.
respawned.
Danik B with a respawn. Thanks for putting that one out here. So a lot of people that have already fallen back. You can see it right here. Scrappy, Dunster, Papu, Machi, Massa, Peck, Carl Jr., and Kappa. Kappa, is this the end of Kappa? Could this be the end?
It's the end of Kappa, yeah. I think it's going to be very difficult for him to catch up. I believe he was in a battle with both Roland and Kappa, and they are in 1-2 positions. So it's going to be it's going to be a very tough job to say the least. They need to make some mistakes on these Zeppelin jumps if Kappa has any chance to catch up at all, really.
The thing is that Kappa is also jumping high at the Zeppelin, so he's not even going to gain a lot of time. He mostly loses, like, on top of that. So for Kappa, it's going to be really difficult, but he's already about to snack the first position right there. It is Papu who has to respawn, and that could also be a very, very nasty point loss for him. 88 points for Papu. Right now, he is safe in the playoffs, but an 88 point loss would also be very, very hefty. But yeah, for Kappa, he needs to hope for a lot of mistakes to happen in order to make something happen. But this is really, really looking grim for Sampi Kappa right now at this point. Lap number 4. Roland is leading over Cap and Spam. Spam already 4.4 seconds behind, so we have a very, very massive margin right there. But that is just like the proof. It is, yeah, the proof that Spam is really safing it. Yeah, he's not pushing it like Roland or Cap, but Spam is taking it easy. And this is exactly what he wants. Massa also 22 points right now on 4th place, but that would not cut it for him. Dunster on 5th place, also good for him. And yeah, Machi on 6th place, also one of his best positions so far. He got red positions so far in all of the maps before. And right now a 6th place for the Polish powerhouse would for sure be very good for the 17-year-old player for Team Runtime. Carl Jr. has moved up to 8th place, by the way. Has passed Scrappy here in the meantime. But yeah, a lot of people, a lot of back and forth right here, and we're coming to the next Zeppelin jump. Anything happened here so far? I see everyone has actually survived it. Cap has taken over the lead over Roland, actually. Cap now up to 1st, followed by Spam and Massa. And yeah, other than that, we don't really have a lot of changes.
No, we don't have a lot of changes, but there is still a chance for Kappa, because if Papu finishes in the red zones and lose 88 points, Kappa will actually go up into 8th place and will be in the TMGL. So it's going to be interesting to take a look at the battle between Papu and Bren right now, where Kappa actually needs Papu to have a 9th place position for him to qualify. But actually a small mistake by Papu leaves him in the dust of Bren. So Bren coming up into 8th place once again with that slight mistake from Papu, and there is actually still hope for Kappa. So let's keep an eye on that.
Yeah, definitely. Papu really needs to step it up now, and he should maybe try to not risk it too much, because mistakes will definitely happen. And as I say that, Bren actually full stops into the hairpin on the inside. So that
Cap!
is Cap. Cap is dead. Cap is dead. Cap is dead, and he is even waiting to start his engine again. He was actually waiting. Like, he probably threw his controller away or something. I don't know what happened there, but Cap is down to P9, and that will push Papu up to 7th, which is very, very good for him. Very, very good for him. Carl Jr., by the way, on 11th place, still ahead of Danik B and Kappa. Kappa 14.5 seconds behind. He needs more of these. He definitely needs more of these.
Because Riolo, if Cap loses his points as well, Kappa is still in it, and with another respawn from Cap, that is looking very good now for Kappa to go into the playoffs.
Cap down to 12th place. I missed his mistake.
He landed a little too short there after the bridge jump, and actually just flew out of the map. So really unfortunate stuff for Cap, but very good for Kappa now, who is finding himself laughing in 13th place. Yeah. Actually just overtaking bits now, and the next person up on his list is Cap, who is 12 seconds behind Brem.
Wow, this is so all over the place. So many happenings right now. Step number 10 is for sure a blast right now. So yeah, a lot of quick math that we need to do right here. We are in lap number 7. A small position change here on P4 and P5 between Massa and Dunster. So Massa has gone up to 4th place. In the lead, it is still Roland. Spam holding up strong.
Cap with another mistake on the bridge.
I think Cap is completely tilted right now. Because, yeah, he maybe knows that this is the end for him. He maybe knows that there isn't a lot that can really get him back into the playoffs. Now that he lost, or almost lost 48 points. Like, he's about to lose them. This is rough. This is really rough. Imagine, like, I don't want to imagine, actually, being in the situation of such a player right now, being so far behind, knowing that the playoffs were so close, and yet so far away. That must hurt. That must really, really hurt.
I mean, if you're a Cap at this point, you hate to see it. Pack as well with a red finish, so he is going for the zero map strategy this time around, it seems. Unfortunate stuff for him, but but Cap is the big loser here, and there's nothing really he can do anymore. But he actually did catch up 6 seconds on that previous lap. So if he catches up 6 seconds twice in a row, that is actually a green position for him. But then again, there are still people in front of him, so it's going to be very difficult. And with another mistake on the Zeppelin and
Cap
respawn,
didn't make it again. That's it.
That is definitely over for him now.
That's it. Cap is out. I don't think he is gonna recover from this. Because, yeah. I think he's in such a mental state that he just wants to leave at this point.
Yep.
I would certainly understand.
Get it over with.
Yeah, I would completely understand if he just quit right now. But I guess that's something that he can't do. Rolling! Ay, Rolly! What is he doing again? Rolly almost threw it away right there. But he still was able to stabilize right there. Rollin still on first, followed by Spam. And we have massive, massive gaps in the top 8. And this is all due to the Zeppelin jump. Like, there's no other part that players really messed up. Maybe the little spin onto the boosters at the end. But other than that, there isn't really a lot that went wrong for the players except for the quarter pipe jump up. Down the Zeppelin, or well, past the Zeppelin. So yeah, 32 seconds. That is half a minute between first and 8th place. That is something that we haven't really seen a lot. And yeah, as I spectate Scrappy, he actually full went into the wall, but he will remain on that 3rd place. We are in lap number 9, and it seems like things...
Actually 10. It is lap number 10. Rolling
lap number 10 right now. Actually, Rolling going into lap number 10. Thank you for the heads up. So we are coming to the end right here. Rolling needs to survive the last jump one more time. Will he make it? Pulse Rolling from Austria. He's safing, and he does it. Rolling with a beautiful jump. Spam is actually risking it. He is gonna close in a little bit, but it's not enough to go for an overtake. Rolling remains on P1, Spam on 2nd, and then we have Scrappy and Massa following up. Papu on 5. Keep in mind, he was on the red position at some point, and Papu has actually gotten himself back. He refocused, and he was, of course, also able to capitalize from the mistakes that happened from the other people. So, Papu up to 5. Machi with a very good 6th place. Carl Jr. also was in the red, now on 7th place, and Danik B on 8th. We are coming to the end. Let's follow the winner, or hopefully the winner, if he doesn't mess up the last jump. Pulse Rolling from Austria. He is gonna win it right here. 100 euro for him and 40 points for his account. He wins the final map of step 10 in front of Spam, who takes 2nd place. Scrappy on P3, Massa on 4th. Papu makes the jump. He will get 5th in front of Machi with quite a big margin though, so that is gonna take a little bit of time. But I'm super happy for Rolling. This is really, really nice. And also Spam, he was able to hold strong onto his 104 points, and that is absolutely insane. Machi on 6, Carl Jr. takes it safe here on 7th place. He might actually get overtaken by... No. Pack also takes the safe route. Kappa now jumping. He makes it. Kappa on 9th. Danik B will lose 22 points. Wait, Pack?
Carl Jr. and Pack, Pack is trolling. Carl Jr. and Pack are trolling.
They're not finishing. Wait, they... Nah, they did finish. They did finish. But Pack has lost his position to Danik B. Bren on 11. Dunster actually gets passed by Bits here right in front of the finish line. So Bits will take over the 12th place. Dunster on 13. Cap. Yeah, that's a feels bad. He doesn't even make the last jump. DNF for Cap. Minus 48. Bad, that hurts. That hurts.
So if you hold tab real quick.
Yep.
And go to the league ranking, I think they are instantly updated. So we will have the overall overall TMGL positions now.
Yep. Here we have it. Carl Jr. wins the group stage of the TrackMania Grand League with 636 points. Absolutely amazing performance. Pack on 407 will take 2nd place. Spam will remain on 3rd place. Amazing step by him, out of his mind. He played here. 362 points. Scrappy up to 4th with 246 points. Papu on 5th with 236. Rollin will qualify for the playoffs right here with 216 points. Bren has dropped down to 7th with 207. And Kappa gets the last slot, 174. Defeats his direct opponents. Cap, who lost all of his points, and Massa, who did not perform in step 10 whatsoever. Shoutouts to Danik B, 48 points for him, 11th place. I think that is something that he can certainly be happy about as well. Together with Dunster, 41 points for him here at the end of the 10 steps. Dexter and Machi will share P13 with 27 points each. Bits with 26 and The Burst with 8 points in total. So we have our 8 players right here that will be moving on into the playoffs of the TrackMania Grand League, the beta season. No information are known yet, but I promise the information will come very, very soon. So stay tuned for further information onto the playoffs right here for the TrackMania Grand League. Carl Jr., Pack, Spam, Scrappy, Papu, Roland, Bren, and Kappa. These are gonna be our top 8. We have 1 Canadian, we have a British player, we have a Dutchie, we have a Belgian player, we have 2 Frenchies, an Austrian, and Czech Republic being represented as well. This is gonna be your top 8 for the TrackMania Grand League for the step ranking. It is Spam that wins it in front of Roland and Scrappy and Papu, all 3 at 102 points. 78 for Carl Jr., 38 for Massa, 18 for Machi, 16 for Kappa, and then we have Danik B, Pack, Bren, Bits, Dunster, Cap, Dexter, and Subverse. Any final words, Radiance?
I just want to say thank you to every single one of the viewers who watched us on Twitch TV every single, or not every Sunday, but every Sunday that TMGL was live. It was a great pleasure to cast for you guys, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen with this TMGL stuff. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be great. You will find out soon how the TrackMania Grand League will advance. And yeah, of course, we hope that you enjoyed the 10 cast right here of the TrackMania Grand League. It was a pleasure bringing it to you. And this is, of course, not the end. So it is not a sad goodbye. It is a temporary goodbye. Because the playoffs, I think, those are going to be absolute blasts. So without further ado, I thank you for watching step number 10. And yeah, have a good night. Thank you for watching and see you soon. As the final map has said, see you soon for the playoffs of the TrackMania Grand League beta season. Make sure to stay up to date on social media, on Twitter, on TrackMania-Grand-League.com, and you will be able to find all of the information. Definitely stay up to date. This is going to be a banger. Radiance, cheers. Thank you very much. And
You too, man.
I'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye, chat.